Powerhouse 78 up in this thing. You heard Smith.
Yo, once again, we're in the building again. For all you who are tuned in today, I thank y'all. First, God first. We give all praise to the Most High. And I'm back in the building once again with my boy Doc. We're going to do what we do today. We're going to talk about a couple of topics. And first, we want to start off on playing church. A lot of people go to church.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't go to church.
Mm-hmm.
But we talking about, in particularly, setting of church in prison. The prison aspect of being in church is where you go to praise and worship, where you seek God, where you seek comfort, where you seek respect and a godless aspect. Okay. It give you something that nothing and no one else can ever give you. Okay. So when I say playing church, give me your definition of playing church in prison.
My definition of playing church could be, I'm actually going to church because I'm hiding. I need protection.
Come on with it.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the average person that goes to church in prison, it really, like the first thing you said, they can be going for prison worship because they're actually tired of living the way they've been living and they seeking God.
Okay.
And the other one can be either they done ratted on somebody, aka they hot, so they're going to hide out in church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody don't mess with them. Or they might be a child molester.
Right.
And of course, we know prison is segregated. So you got the group of whites, group of blacks, then, you know what I'm saying, your group of Mexicans. And if that particular person is white, you can't hang out with the white boys because they're going to pull your paperwork. They're going to find out what's happening.
Right.
And once again, they're going to go back to another episode we had. They're going to run you out the yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's playing church to me.
Okay.
How do you see it?
So in other words, and I'm going to answer that question for you. So in other words, you saying they hide behind the shield of God. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. But as they hide, hopefully, I pray that because they went in there under false pretenses, but I hope that their mind stay changed and they actually really trying to build a real relationship with God. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Regardless of the fact why they came there. But maybe something click in their mind and their heart make them want to build a better relationship.
Right.
But who knows?
Well, the way I look at it, with me doing state time and was in prison ministry for a long number of years.
Yeah.
I never played church because I was raised in the church before prison. I knew the do's and the don'ts. I knew when my grandmother would preach behind that pulpit not to play, not to talk to nobody.
Yes.
Not to be fumbling with anything. So in the state, it's pretty much what you said, but it get a little deeper.
Okay. Explain that to me.
It get a little deeper. When I say it gets deeper, it get to a point to where people, they come to church, first of all, to see people from different part of the yards.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, okay. You're right.
So once they done met whoever they done met, they just sit there, they talk, lollygag, and the word just going over their head. The praise and worship going over their head.
False pretenses.
Yeah. So then you got this other group of people that come there because they never been to prison. And they have a sense of humor to where I'm going to try this here in order to get what I want, to get what I need.
Yeah.
So they really using the next person up because they see the blessings of God flowing in another person's life. So they try to cling up to them, get attached to them.
I get that.
So they can eat, they can have protection, whatever they need, whatever they want, whatever they trying to do, whether it's a job status or whatever, they know, hey, Brother Q, he in the church. That's the way they say it in our state.
Off guards. You know, you can't be touched now.
Right.
You off limits, man.
In other words, in our next topic is going to be playing for position. So that's what they doing. They trying to play for position to get where they trying to go. And even if they ain't trying to go nowhere, they just playing for position to be okay, just to get by.
Yeah, they could be. You know, if they do that, they're gonna have a nice smooth ride.
So when we have Bible study, we have different disciple classes and Bible college classes, stuff like that, and you encourage them to come, they come, but they got a motive. It's either to sell or trade or to see someone.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you have this other group of people that's on the flip side of the world. They come there to do their thing.
Yeah.
You know, they come to do their thing. But me and the ministry team that I done been underneath of, they pretty much was raised the same way in church that I was raised. So we see you talking and coming up for the wrong reason, we stop it. We put a stop to it. We'll pull them to the side. We ain't gonna embarrass him. We respect him as a man.
Yeah, gotta do that. Got to, man. You got to.
We'll let them know, hey, this house here is for the Lord. We ain't coming in here and doing this here. You know, so with me saying playing church, I would look at the definition of playing church just to get by.
Overall, yeah, that's the main reason.
To make someone say, hey, Doc doing good, Doc going to church now, Doc doing this, Doc doing that. Behind the scene of the shield, Doc doing other things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I never changed my ways. You know what I'm saying? But when I first got to prison, I guess they felt it's a culture shock. Oh, I don't know what to do. All I know is they've been killing, they've been doing this. So I done been to Catholic.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't like Catholic. It wasn't about the word. It was about the quietness. It was too quiet for me. You know, it was too quiet. You know, Baptist. I done been to student Islam, and I agreed to whoever bringing the word profound rather than watering it down. So I ain't had no problem with going to Catholic sometimes.
Yeah.
I ain't had no problem with going to student Islam sometimes. I didn't have no problem with going to the Christians or the Baptists. Or I went to Buddha one time. I ain't like it. Stop going.
Yeah. So to me, from the beginning of the time when Christianity and all that came about, that was like the biggest segregation for people. Use religion against them.
But I went to these different religions just to see how people play with God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Playing church. Walk around with their Bible. They take their Bible to the courthouse, and as though the judge gonna say, well, he got it together. And that ain't true. You know, the warden walk around. They want the warden to see, hey, warden, how you doing? Big old Bible with so many chapters in there, it can't hold one Bible. You know, just so the warden can say, hey, man, I see you've been to church. Never went to church. Just holding his Bible, walking around, sitting on the yard, you know, things of that nature.
Fronting. All they're doing is fronting, man.
You know, so I met a lot of ministries in the prison system, from Angola to DCI to Hunts, David Wade. Let's go on. Rap sheet long when it comes down to traveling.
Yeah, you took a nice little trip there, buddy.
You know, so, but what did I learn the most at? 2 places.
Which ones was that?
DCI and Hunt.
Yeah, I stayed at DCI like 3 years. I was on Unit 3, you know, before they built the new Unit 3.
Trustee unit.
Yeah. I was at Unit 3, man.
See, a lot of people, they go to church and so-called playing for church, or to get in church because the different churches have women coming. That's one of their main priorities to be there.
They gonna eat good.
They gonna eat good. That's their second main priority to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like me. I had a sense of humor to where I was being nice, being respectable, but you're not fit to have that done down here. When I say down here, you know the chopper be up the walk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you know, a lot of things, man, that got to me playing church. And I really didn't want to be rude to anyone, but I had to stand on what I believe in.
I feel like you felt that way because you was really a child of God. You getting yourself together and you watching somebody playing with your God.
I mean, the churches offer all kinds of schooling.
Yeah.
Bible college, discipleship, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's out there. So just like we talked about on one episode, do rehabilitation help you? You know, you gotta want it. You can't play for it. You gotta want it, because if you play for it, it's just like playing for position. You're gonna lose it.
Yeah, I can believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in that place, man, you can. It's what you make of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really, really what you make of it. You can come out think you're a bigger dope boy, a better killer, or whatever. But it's what you make of it, man.
So let me ask you this here. All right, so when you was in prison, was y'all allowed to bring certain things down there besides the Bible?
They didn't stop us.
They didn't stop you?
No, they
okay,
didn't stop
so
us.
that's what I was meaning when I say people come for the wrong reason, for the sale, you know, and trade. You know, and we know that's against the bylaws, the rules and regulations, you know, trade and sale. You know, and when you see these things, you like, should I say something? Should I not? Me, I let that boldness get on me sometimes, and I have to say something. But in the back of my mind, I ain't trying to police this dude neither.
Yeah.
You know, because being a police in prison, you know what I'm saying, a rat, it's weight. So if you playing for a position in the chapel just to be a rat, man, that's big.
Yeah, that's big, man.
That's big, man.
So basically, you'll lose all your credibility on the yard. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who you might need. Now, nobody don't be bothered with you.
I said this here. I went from the streets to prison back home. Okay, if you notice how I said it, streets, prison, back home. I knew God then when I was on the streets. I didn't meet God when I got to prison. I knew him when I was in prison, and I know him today.
Had to tighten your relationship up.
You know.
But at the same time, sometimes I feel that regardless of the fact we know God, we don't have the strongest relationship with him, and he will take us out of a situation, meaning the streets, so he can get our undivided attention. So you can do the work that he needs you to do.
So dead time, is dead time have anything to do with playing for position?
That's a yes and a no.
I need both answers. I need an answer to that question. Let me ask you this. Let me start off from the bottom. Easy time. Do that play a part for playing in for position?
Well, I feel like when they're doing the easy time, they just laid back. The people taking care of them, getting their commissary. They ain't worrying about nothing.
Okay. Hard time.
I ain't got no money coming in. I'm getting pressed. You know what I'm saying? My people ain't messing with me. My homies in there ain't messing with me. I'm by myself.
Okay. In dead time.
I ain't got nothing going on. I'm just sitting in there. But the dead time can come to be a mental thing.
Okay.
See, you can create your own dead time. because you feel like nobody messing with you. You feel like nothing ain't going on. So you can have like a blockage in your mind. You think you ain't got nothing going on. All the while, you got a lot going on.
Right.
Because you feel like your time is dead, but really it's not.
So this is a place of a darkness of nowhere.
Only if you allow it.
Mentally.
Only if you allow it.
Okay.
Think of that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we create our own chaos.
Right.
And it goes back to Joyce Myers. That battlefield in that mind.
Battlefield of mind. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so easy, hard, dead. Not saying that you will have to do it again. But if you can go back, which I know you're not.
Oh, hell nah.
Which one would be the most quality experience that you feel that you had? Where you gained something out of?
Hard.
Exactly.
It was the hard one. So it goes all the way back to my podcast, Beautiful Struggle. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, so that was part of my beautiful struggle. Because if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't be the man I am now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you got that easy time, some of them just float out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The people taking care of them, much respect. They, you know, they really staying out the way, doing what they got to do, but they're just floating, right?
Right.
Go home, right? And you wonder why you still in there. Said, man, I miss my boy. He gone home. Mm-hmm. 6 months later, he back. That time was too easy. He didn't learn nothing.
And that's where Department of Correction come in at mentally. Because Department of Correction feel as though if we give you 40, 50, 60, 70 years, they're going to get your mind right. But if I give you 2, 3, 4 years, you're coming right back.
But I can, you know, that can be like a contradictory thing too. Because I didn't give you 40, 50, 60 years because I want you to get your mind right. Some judges give you 40, 50, 60 years because they don't like you. They do it because they're exercising their power.
They don't like you. They don't know you not to like you.
No, they don't like you.
Okay.
They don't like you.
Okay, well, you know, that could be the case.
You know, it sometimes it can turn to a biased thing.
But a person demeanor.
Okay.
A person demeanor, if you and I, being the color that we are, mm-hmm. walk in front of a white judge, mm-hmm. and I'm saying this because I've been there, done that.
Okay.
And you and I walk in that courthouse with the wrong demeanor, the wrong attitude. They don't know us. They don't know of us.
So you telling me I can get more time because of my demeanor, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, now watch this. Regardless of what I did in my life, all the coke I slung, all the stuff I did, but I always stayed humble. And the reason why I got an excessive sentence because my case only carried 10 years, mm-hmm. because I wouldn't rat. So I wouldn't rat. They hit me with an enhancement and gave me 20, mm-hmm. okay? So that's like abusing your power because you didn't have to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because now the one that was not black, that came months after me, they decided not to use his prior to enhance his sentence. And as this paperwork was read, no, he did not rat. See what I'm saying? They will abuse their power on who they want.
Yeah, I can fit in the same shoes with you with the necessity of sentence in multiple ways. Mainly because I wouldn't rat. I had 3 fall partners. I didn't tell on neither one of them.
Yeah.
Not neither one of them. So at the end of the day, it's like I didn't even catch staying on myself.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm looking at the fact that I was already on probation mm-hmm. for 2 different judges. And I'm saying to myself mentally, I have to play for position to get home. I played myself to get in here.
Oh yeah, now you got to do that same thing to get out.
Exactly.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying? So when I go before the first judge, which was a white man, from point A to Z,
Yeah.
he never changed on me. Why? I always been a respectable person, man. That's how my mom taught me. Yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And he was just being fair accordingly to my demeanor, my charge. He could have locked me up twice. He didn't. He gave me a chance because he seen something in me. He saw something in me that he never said that he see in me. And he kept giving me chances after chances. But if a person continue to give you chances after chances, you don't get it right, what happens? They got to slam that book at you.
I get it. But look, on Porter Street in the federal building is different. You don't get chances. You come in at one time, they got what they call one and done. One and done, baby. You come in at one time, you done.
Right.
And, you know, that was one of the biggest difference, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when it came to playing position, it was hard to put yourself in a better position to get out of there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference with playing those positions, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going in just like you in the state. Mm-hmm. I'm going in there. The position I'm going to put myself in, I'm going in there just like you. Flying colors, I'm going in there.
So when you was in prison, was you, when I say play for position, was you like, okay, right now, I'm a newcomer. Just got in, you know, fresh. I got to find my way out of here. I don't know this cat, but I simply know him. You know, I'm not friendly, so I ain't finna go talk to too many people.
Yeah.
I need a job. Now, feds don't have a field. State do.
Well, our jobs was, I'm going to work in the kitchen, or I'm going to just work the compound. But the position I had to do and put myself in when I got there was, I got 20 years, 240 months. I got to put myself in a position to give this back.
Right.
That's the position. That was the only thing on my mind.
So, you know, for our guests, man, our sitters and watchers and everything, when you say give this back, get off in just a little depth about give this back. Because a lot of people in the community, they hear us say that all the time, but they don't know what that means.
Well, when I say give it back, I mean like trying to find a gateway to get back in court to get me a reduction of sentence.
So you getting it back to the state?
No, I'm giving it back to the feds.
To the feds?
Yeah, because like the state ain't got nothing to do with me.
So they issue to you and you say, okay, I'm going to work myself to give it back to you.
Yeah, because like when I got it, I think I got a year. To appeal. You know what I'm saying? And once that window gone, you hit. You know what I'm saying? You know, so now you got to find another way to. Now you got to find another position.
Okay.
So now you just got to find loopholes, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to find. If you can't find no loopholes, that's it.
Did you have a lawyer?
Nah. I just when you're in the feds, a lawyer can't do nothing for you.
Okay.
You know, it's just a waste of money, man. Because, you know, that's the real gangsters down there on Porter Street.
Right.
Real gangsters. I don't give a damn you're a millionaire. If they want you, they want you. 98% conviction rate. You ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the money didn't really, really help me. So I studied law. Told my sister I wanted to go to law school. She paid for it. And as I used that, so that was another position I put myself in.
Okay.
That was a slow process, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was looking for the fast way, but my process had to be slow because that's the position I had to get put into to make something happen.
So did you, I want to recap on something that you said and you did. Does race really matter still today as it did in the past in prison?
Yeah, it's getting stronger, yeah.
Okay.
But it's really like a respect thing.
So the difference between another state, and I'm gonna use the example of Texas versus Louisiana versus the 3 for 1, 3 for 5, 10 for 15. Explain that.
I didn't know too much about it, but when we were in the feds, we had you do 87% of your time off of whatever it gave you. People think it's 85%, but it's really 87%. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot to bring to the door.
Right.
You know, matter of fact, Florida State is the same way. You know.
So do you think other states is more lenient on crime dealing with male versus female than Louisiana?
What it is, we're under a different statute. Like Louisiana is stuck under what they call the Napoleonic law.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the oldest laws on the book, and they refuse to change it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to change it because they're gonna lose out.
So in order for that to be changed, you know, what can you tell the viewers what they need to do?
Shit. Honestly, to be real with you, man, they've been trying to change it for 50 years. I don't think it's gonna get changed.
But I bet you I can tell you something.
Tell me, I don't know.
It's called unity.
Well,
it's called all in one. It's called come together. It's called vote for change. Vote for prison reform. Vote for Napoleon laws to change.
So
vote if our people and even other races would just stick together instead of letting the political people reign and rule over us when we the ones make the world go round because they just in a position.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? They just in a position. Our votes matter. Our votes count. But they don't matter and they don't count if you don't go out there and to vote.
Okay. And watch this one. They voted to change the crack law from 1 to 1. I mean, you know, it used to be 100 to 1. You know what I'm saying? It was 100 to 1. So when they changed it, it took them like 2 or 3 years to make it retroactive. So when they made it retroactive, regardless of a vote, and I'm not saying voting ain't bad, it's great, they changed only part of it. See what I'm saying? So the crack law was based on a sentence, you know what I'm saying, or a mandatory minimum part. So when they made it retroactive, they only did the sentence part.
Okay.
So therefore, so many people still sitting there under a law that was no longer on the books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the vote. So what they'll do, they'll vote, right? And the vote is unanimous. But they'll hold it and don't sign it.
Okay.
They'll hold that stuff and don't sign it and make you sit in there. To this day, I know brothers that played their position and still playing their position, still sitting in there under a law that's no longer on the books. So in the feds, what they'll do, you'll file a motion. Once again, you putting yourself in position. Like we say, they'll file a motion. And that motion can sit on that judge or that prosecutor's desk for years. And when you force them to answer your motion, which you'll file a writ of mandamus,
right,
man, it look like 3 days you're denied. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying with the unity. It's a great thing, and you're right. And that's what we need to do. But I just feel like we can only can do so much.
Okay. Well, it's about that time, man. I enjoyed you, bro. You know, I'm getting more interested in the feds and what y'all got going on over there. Had past tense for you.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate my viewers.
Yeah. All day.
And I just want to say thank God for this opportunity that He has given me, given you, given our family.
Yes,
you
bro.
know, to bring this to the table for a change. You know, and I'm gonna say this here before we get off this show. I always told myself that when I get home, I'm going to start me a TV show on prison reform. Why? Because the community really don't know what's going on in the darkness of nowhere. I thank y'all. Peace.
All
Power
right.
Hour 78.
Powerhouse 78 up in this thing. You heard, Smith?